So today we're going to go into some details on Ukemi. And I know a lot of times when you get into Aikido and you start learning Ukemi, mostly you're learning how to fall safely, you're learning how to roll, you're just basically learning how to participate in practice so you don't get hurt. But at another level, Ukemi kind of takes this weird turn where it turns into something that's just how do I look good or how do I make my partner look good. And that's, I understand that that can be a nice thing because Aikido is certainly beautiful to watch, but at the same time it helps to kind of further a lot of problems in your practice where you're not really getting adequate pressure from your partner, you're really not learning. So we're going to go into some details about how to approach Ukemi, and I'm going to be the Uke today. So the first few things that we want to cover are, first of all, your hands. With your hands, we're just going to start from this Tegatana Awase, so just touching like this way. My hands, I want my hands to be active and alive. So if I feel pressure from him or I put pressure on him, I want my hands to feel alive so that I can continue to apply pressure to him. I can move to the side. I don't want my hands to be dead. I also don't want my hands to be wooden. It's not just sticking a wooden arm out there. If I put that out there, he can easily slip that past and then just get to the back of me, or he can slip into the front of me this way, and I'm in a very awkward position. So with your arms, keep your arms alive, keep your arms relaxed. Go ahead and do that same entry you did just then. Yeah, so that I'm able to keep my balance and stay present. Okay? The second thing we want to look at is our eyes. A lot of times you'll see people like, they'll be practicing like this way. They'll be like looking out somewhere. You know, eyes are over there, or their eyes are down here at the floor like this way. Keep your eyes focused forward. Keep your eyes on your opponent, somewhere in his hands, his body. Just a soft eye that will take in everything that he's doing. Don't let yourself drift off this way or look at the floor this way. You know, it's called metsuke, right? In Kendo or Iaido, it's called metsuke. Keeping your eyes focused this way. Okay? Don't let yourself drift off that way. Okay? Then next thing is you have the hands, you have your eyes, and then you have your feet. So with your feet, don't stand away like this way. Okay? Stand so that you can move forward. Okay? We want to be able to move like a suriashi or okuriashi. You want to be able to move in with your front foot like this way. You want to be able to move in, if I need to take up space, I want to be able to move in with my back feet this way and move just, again, like in Kendo, very much like Kendo or in Judo, where you're moving in and out, and I need to be able to adjust myself this way to my partner with my feet. So keep your feet light and active. The problem I see a lot of times is people will keep their feet very flat and down like this way, so they're not actually actively moving. If he moves away from here in any direction, I'm not able to follow up on that attack. I should feel if he moves back that I'm able to continue my pressure into him. If he presses at me, I'm able to absorb that. So I want to feel that we can move back and forth like this and give and take without collapsing our arms and with moving our feet and by keeping our focus of our eyes forward toward our opponent. Okay? Also with the hands, keep both of your hands up and alive. Too often we see this kind of thing where the hand is back here somewhere or just dead at the side, and the person's maybe doing shomanuchi and they're striking this way and their hand's over here just dead. So keep your hand up here. If he moves in that way, I should be able to cover a little bit. If he moves in again, I should be able to cover a little bit here. You know, maybe I can provide some kind of reversal at that point, okay? So eyes, hands, feet, everything focused forward. The feet should be aligned so you can move back and forth like this way. So keep both of your feet pointing forward like this way instead of pushing the back foot out to the side like that way. You want to be able to move forward and backward like this with your feet without dragging the back foot to the side like that way. Okay? The next thing, in addition to your hands, your eyes, your feet, is your posture. With your posture, we want to keep our posture upright. So I want a nice vertical posture like this way. Don't lean in like this way. It makes me really vulnerable. If he just takes my hand, pulls it down or whatever, I'm already in a vulnerable position. In Aikido, we should keep in mind that we also might have to defend against striking. So I don't want to put myself down in this position because my face is open here. So I want to always keep myself upright like this way. If he strikes in, I can defend from this position and move in and out and not get my face hit like that way. Okay, so hands, eyes, feet, posture. The next thing we need to look at is our distance. So an attack distance has to be at such a distance that I can reach him within one step. Okay, this I can't hit him, right? But if I move in one, I can hit this way. If I move my front foot in this way, if I move my back foot up, I can hit him this way. So beyond that, there's really no threat. So if I'm this way, I can't strike this way. So I have to be in such a way that if one movement, I can hit. Okay, I make one movement, I can hit. I make one movement, I can get to the side. So I should be like one step away. Anything more than that, you start to look ridiculous because you're going to start throwing an attack from out here. He's going to do what? Let's do a Riminagi, right? I throw out like this way. It's like, what on earth am I doing here? You know, what's going on? Why? What happened right there that I didn't see that happen? So it's much more difficult for him to get a Riminagi than most people let on. So if I throw an attack from out here and just, of course it's easy for him. Maybe that's fine for a beginner, but you know, as you advance in your practice, we want to be just one step away, and that's where he has to move, okay? And then he has to figure out how to make that happen, okay? So you have your distance, you have your posture. The next thing we need to have is a sense of pressure. So if I don't apply any pressure toward him, there's really no attack happening. So I should be able to apply pressure from my body. If I'm just going to be static here like this way, and then he's going to do the, say, Riminagi on me again, like this way, yeah, of course, nothing's happening there because I'm not moving. I'm not providing any kind of pressure. So inside here, there's some pressure here. Now he has to learn to deal with that. Yeah, so you can go Riminagi. Yeah, there we go. So you have your posture, you have your distance, you have the pressure that you're able to apply. If I feel pressure from him, I can also move that. So I can, reverse the technique on him. So we always want to have this feeling of being able to apply pressure into the other person like this way, right? The amount of pressure you provide in the beginning is going to be like 0. So if you're just working with a person who's just starting, you're going to provide almost nothing, and I'm just going to let him do your Riminagi like that way so that I can give him good practice, right? So this is just for him to practice on that. So he's learning how to make Riminagi, work, how to make the movement work like that way. As you start to take your Ukemi and provide a little more aliveness to it, you're going to start to provide more pressure from your body. So now I'm going to provide a little more pressure from my body as he does this technique. So go. I'm going to start pushing into him a little bit. So he has to work a little bit because of the momentum and pressure that I'm applying from my body. So when you learn Ukemi in your dojo, you should learn all these basics about how to roll and how to fall. One thing you should always keep in mind too is try as much as possible to face in toward your partner. So in this Riminagi here, I'm going to make sure that I'm facing in toward him this way. I want to be looking at his body this way as I take Ukemi. I don't want to be turned away from him like this way, because there's not much I can do to respond to his throw if I'm facing away. So always try to get yourself turned in and facing toward him. Okay? So that's that second level where you're going to just start applying more body pressure into him, more pressure, like feeling that kind of pressure that he has to deal with now. When you step up from there, you're going to start being a little more active with your hands. So now I can start to maybe adjust my way that I'm taking Ukemi to make it a little harder for him to complete. Right here, I see his hand wanting to throw me, right? So I can see his hand wants to come around for Iriminage. But if I stop the hand here, then he may have a difficult time doing Iriminage. Also, my body pressure is in here a little bit this way. This Iriminage is almost like doing a Hadakajine, where you're coming in on Iriminage like this way, and you're getting the choke from behind. Okay? So think of it that way. When you're getting Iriminage, I'm wanting to control his hand so that it doesn't come completely around this way. So when I see it coming around, let's do from the top, and I'm able to catch it right here, okay, and put pressure into him. Now, that's my reversal. So I'm giving him a way more challenge now in getting this Iriminage done. And I'm not doing it just to be difficult. I'm doing my Ukemi in a very constructive way. You know, traditionally, when you define uke or Ukemi, it means like the way of receiving or body receiving, right? But my way of looking at Ukemi is not just receiving, but it's giving. I'm looking at how can I give the best Ukemi. In like traditional martial art or koru, a lot of times you'll see like the senior person or the instructor or sensei will be the one that does the Ukemi side. In Aikido, this kind of got changed around at some point where the higher level person was throwing lower level people. But to learn best, the uke has to be more experienced in order to provide the right kind of context for the training this way. So in the beginning, maybe it's better for more advanced people to take more Ukemi for beginning people, and then let them start to feel how it's supposed to be, you know, rather than just throwing beginning people all the time that way. So yeah, the more experienced person needs more knowledge. Look at like boxing. You know, you have the coach, and the coach is doing maybe mitt work with you. And so when they're doing that kind of work, they have to have a great knowledge of various combinations that they're asking for so that the student or the other boxer can train their combinations. So that means like I'm kind of like the mitt coach when I'm the uke. Okay, I'm providing that context. Okay, so let's just do that again. So we're Riminage. I'm coming into the side of his body. I'm going to catch him here. I'm going to put my body into him, and all of a sudden he goes, oh, this hand out here. Maybe I should be careful about that, right? So several things can happen when this hand is here. I can osotogari here, so there's osotogari on the side right here. I can sweep the arm through here. So arm drag in. I can cut underneath, take his back. From here, you know, there's many things. You can take Sankyo from here. So all of that's coming out of the way that I'm taking Ukemi. I'm not just fighting, but I'm looking at his technique and helping him to understand it better. Now when he goes into his Iriminage, he's going to be a little more careful about whether or not I'm able to grab that hand. So he's learned something. Means his technique's getting better as we practice now. So he's not get the hand now. He's learned to be very careful about that. The next thing that will happen is I'm putting more pressure with my body and I'm taking good constructive ukemi, is we might find a different situation. So this situation, yeah. So with that situation, he's let me get underhook on him. This is a common problem. Since we're on the subject of iriminage, it's a common problem with iriminage to allow the person to get underhook. Right now, I have double underhook on him like this way. Okay? So it's easy for me to do like sutemi. So now that he's felt my body pressure, he's felt the vulnerability of his arm, he's going to start to feel, oh, I need to not let him get underhooks on me because that's dangerous, right? So let's see what happens. Monitor that. How do you keep me from getting my hand there? Yeah, exactly. What do you need to do that? I'm not going to tell him. He's just going to figure it out. Okay, so he's fighting a little bit to keep it under there, but maybe there's better. Yeah, so. Okay, so you kind of drag me down a little bit first to get that hand away from you. That might work. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, so you're really getting that arm right there. Okay, so try again. So what's happening here with the elbow? The elbow's getting inside, right? Yeah. So that's the problem. So you need to keep my elbow from cutting back inside and getting the underhook there. So you're moving in here. Where's this hand? Okay, okay, now where does it go? Okay, and where's my elbow? Going right past it, right? Okay. So you can see he's working through this problem right now. So I'm not fighting, I'm just kind of taking ukemi, right? Okay, so you got my knee there, but still right? How about if you leave it? So now we know, oh, I need that, right? Okay, you got it? Oh, you're moving already with your foot, right? Which means there's a space between here and there. Means I'm coming to get you. So right here, get control here, then move together. What's happening is we're moving back, there's a space. So keep everything tight. Get all the air out of the technique, then together we'll move. Significantly better, okay? So this is how you need to start looking at your ukemi. Start looking at it, make sure that you're focused with your eyes. Make sure you're focused with your hands, both hands active, right? As he did the iriminage, say you're in the iriminage like this way. I wasn't just dead hand down here, right? His hand came across, I was like, oh, look at that. Okay, that's, a little osolto right there. So he learned to fix that. That was because I have both hands active. Also because I'm staying focused with my eyes. If I'm just taking ukemi to make him look beautiful, then you're like, oh. But he didn't learn anything. Okay? So my ukemi is helping him to learn. Good focus with your eyes, good extension with your hands, alive, your feet, moving, adjusting this way, pressure, posture. If my posture gets bad in the ukemi, I'm not able to provide this, right? Do the iriminage, just basic way. I have bad posture. See how I'm not able to do anything? I'm not able to counter. I'm not able to put any kind of pressure on him. I'm just taking Ukemi by dropping my head. Always get your posture. Fight for your posture back. There we are. Fight for your posture back. Fight for your posture back. See, then you know, oh, trouble, see? Yeah, only because I'm keeping my posture. But I'm not fighting him with my arms. I'm just keeping good posture and good presence in my body, keeping my feet moving, okay? So I hope this helps you with your Ukemi. These are kind of little steps that we're taking forward in being able to develop more aliveness in your practice, a little bit of pressure so that your technique grows and develops. Have a good practice.